What's up, guys? My name is Aaron Bass, fitness manager for Fit Athletic, and this is your Trainer Tip Tuesday. This week for your Trainer Tip Tuesday, I'm going to be showing you a drill to help you improve the technique of your squat. It doesn't matter what your goals are in the gym, but a good squat is important for everybody. If you're an athlete, a good squat is going to help you translate into better performance. If you are training for aesthetics, a good squat is going to help you develop better looking muscles. And if you are looking to just improve your general well-being or health, a good squat is going to translate to healthier joints. So what you're going to need to perform this drill is a stick or some sort of a dowel that's about 6 feet long. We want the stick to be able to touch the back of your head up here at the occipital lobe behind the skull and reach all the way down here to a tailbone. So follow along with me. Take your time. This is all about evaluation and identifying the places in your squat that need most improvement. All right, this first part, guys, I want to show you how to set up and perform this drill. So go ahead and take the stick and let's put it down the middle of your back, just like this. Take your top hand, grip on the stick, and let's place it right here at the base of your neck. And then take the bottom hand, grip on the stick, and let's place it just here right above the tailbone. Now you're gonna have 3 contact points on this stick as you set yourself up. First one being the little bump on the back of your head. Second one being the middle of your back right here. And the third part is going to be down here next to your tailbone. It's important that you maintain those points of contact on the stick so that when you're squatting, you know that your spine is staying in a neutral position throughout the entire rep. So let's go ahead and get set up. Okay, get those points of contact on the parts of the stick that I mentioned. Okay, now next step here is I want you to pull your elbows back so that your shoulder blades are completely retracted and get set up here into your squat position. Okay, so once you're here in your squat position, you're going to go ahead and start to squat. And what I want you to do is just sort of clue into those points of contact that I mentioned and see if you're able to squat all the way down to 90 degrees without any of those contact points coming off of the stick, okay? Now, the goal of this exercise is to identify the points in which you fail, okay? If you are failing at any part in the range of motion, meaning those points of contact are coming off of the stick, that is pointing to a deviation in the movement pattern or the kinetic chain. And these are indicators that you need to look at in order to go ahead and fix your squat technique. So what I want to do now is I want to show you the different checkpoints that you need to pay attention to if you're not able to squat down to 90 degrees, maintaining each of those contact points on the stick. Checkpoint number 1 is up here at the neck. If when you start squatting, you see the neck picking up here, the chin lifting up in the air, that's typically an indicator of tightness in the back of the neck or here in the upper trap. So if you're experiencing that, what I recommend is that you go lay on a foam roller and thoroughly foam roll all of the areas in the back of your neck and in your upper traps prior to squatting. Checkpoint number 2 is at the shoulder blades here. As you're starting to squat, you should be able to keep your shoulder blades completely retracted, meaning you shouldn't see the elbows rolling forward like this at any part in the range of motion. If for any reason you find that your elbows are moving forward, there could be a few things happening. What I recommend is that you foam roll your pecs, you foam roll your shoulders, and you foam roll your lats to prevent that from happening. And also, I recommend that you strengthen the muscles in your upper back, particularly your rhomboids and your traps. Checkpoint number 3 is in your mid-back. If for any reason you find yourself excessively arching through the mid-back, that's probably an indicator of a weak core. What I recommend is performing core stabilization exercises like planks and wall sits to keep your core stable throughout the range of motion, which is ultimately going to keep your spine in that neutral position. Checkpoint number 4 is the position of your torso. If during your squat you notice that your torso excessively starts to lean forward, that's typically an indicator that you have some tightness either in your hip flexors or in your quad muscles. What I recommend you do in that case is that you foam roll your quads and your hip flexors prior to squatting, and on a different day in the gym, start to work on building up the muscles in the outside part of your hips responsible for external rotation. Checkpoint number 5 is going to be the knees. If during the range of motion you see that the knees start to turn in, typically that's an indicator of tight adductors, which are the muscles here on the inside parts of your thighs. What I recommend if you find your knees turning in is to foam roll the inside parts of your leg, mainly your adductors, prior to squatting, and also you want to start building up the musculature in the outer part of the hips, mainly the gluteus medius and the TFL. Checkpoint number 6 is in your feet. There's 3 things that you want to look out for here. First one is you want to make sure that at any point in the range of motion you don't see your feet turning out just like this. Number 2, you may see on the way down your arches begin to collapse inward like this. And number 3, it's possible at the bottom of the range of motion you may end up on your toes like so. If you find that your feet are turning out, that's most likely due to some tightness in your IT band or your lateral calf muscle. Be sure to thoroughly foam roll these places before squatting. If you find that your arches are collapsing, that's most likely due to some tightness in the bottom of your foot or the inside part of your calf muscle. Make sure to foam roll these areas as well. If you find that you're coming down onto your toes during your squat, that's most likely either due to tightness or weakness in your hamstrings. So I encourage you to play around with both foam rolling and strength training to see if you can correct this movement pattern. I hope you guys find this drill useful in helping fix your squat technique. If you have any specific questions, feel free to go ahead and leave those questions in the comment field below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see these videos in the future. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you all next week.